So it has been just over a week since Raja Jackson took his anger out on an unsuspecting Psycho Stu, so much so that people thought he was dead. And still, he has yet to make any kind of statement on the situation. Not an apology, he didn't double down and say, "I'll do it again if I had the chance." As soon as he calmed down and realized what he did, even he knew that no matter what he could have possibly said, it was not going to help the situation at all. Especially with how many clips came out after the fact showing that this was already settled as a misunderstanding, which Raja purposely ignored so we didn't look like a bitch.
Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro.
If you care what people who watch you think about you, then a beer smashed on your head didn't make you look like a bitch. You are a literal bitch by default. But I've been checking back every other day to see if this guy would say something, but we've actually had Psycho Stu recover from a medically induced coma before Raja Jackson has said anything. And what makes him not saying anything worse than it already is that his dad is now talking for him. And look, Rampage would tear me limb from limb like a fucking gorilla at the zoo. But put me and that gorilla on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader, and I'd have a better chance at survival with how many kids I'd be able to push down. But Rampage is quite possibly one of the dumbest people to ever speak the English language. Like I said, it's just been over a week, and already Rampage has made his son look a million times worse than if both of them had just shut the fuck up. Like, this guy's son nearly killed someone on stream and has the whole internet against him, and he decides that streaming is the best thing to do right now. And what's funny is that there are videos that are posted of people going up to him being like, "Hey, why'd your son do this and whatever? Your son should be cremated." Whoa, Derek. Let's tone it down a bit. But all the replies when a clip like this is posted are, "Say what you want, but he's still a father, and no one should have to go through what he did." And it's like, do you realize that the only reason people are doing this is because his son has basically disappeared off the face of the earth, while people are still very angry at him, and you are literally the next closest person, place, or thing related to him, so by default, you are going to get all the hate in the hopes that it transitions down to your son in the form of a good old-fashioned beating. But we can only pray. And as of today, Quentin Rampage Jackson has still not shut his gigantic pie hole when it comes to trying to defend his son. And while on the Ariel Hawani podcast, he just keeps digging his son into a deeper hole. You ever see that movie Holes? He's making his son dig each of the holes. All he has to say is, "I don't condone what my son did," and that's it. Leave it there. Don't add anything else. Don't try and blame Stu for this. Don't try and say he had this coming. The more and more you try to make it seem like this affected your son in the same way it affected Stu is only adding to the racist remarks you're getting. And after this interview, I think he might have made people even more racist. But anyways, let's get right into the news.
Rampage, my man, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
No problem.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay. Can I ask, what has life been like for you? Obviously, no one needs the preamble. We know everything that happened with your son on August 23rd. You don't need to hear it out of my mouth. But what has life been like for you since that date?
It's been crazy, man. Like, people act like I fucking did it.
You're getting a lot of heat.
I'm getting a lot of heat like I beat somebody's ass.
Now, if he doesn't understand why that is, then he is even dumber than I had originally thought. No one is acting like he did it. We all saw and know his son beat up Psycho Stu. What people are mad at Rampage for are his dumbass comments he was making while Stu was lying in a hospital bed. Like calling him stupid.
So this motherfucker that hit my son is stupid.
Or trying to make it seem like Stu didn't apologize to your son on 3 separate occasions? Or even trying to make it seem like your son and Stu were both dealing with this incident in the same way, saying 2 human beings were involved in this incident. But hey, it's the internet. Be yourself, winky face emoji. That's like a drunk driver killing a whole family, and during their trial they're like, there were 2 families involved in this incident. One of them unfortunately couldn't be here. But there were 2 families involved in this incident. But what's really funny is Ariel asks Rampage, "Do you understand why that is?" And this is his answer.
Do you understand why people are coming after you because it is your son, or do you think it's unfair?
Honestly, I think this has happened in pro wrestling before. What Roger did was uncalled for, and I know it affected a lot of people, but I didn't fucking do it. like because he's my son and his father is a public figure, and they want to come after me. Like people automatically assume that I'm going to defend my son and I'm going to like try to pay people off and get them out of trouble. I'm just as mad as Roger as they are.
All right, so you don't understand. He still thinks people think he did it. Someone might have to explain that concept. Whatever.
Roger lied to me because I was live streaming when he got hit over the head with the can, and I called him. I was like, son, what's going on? Like, what you doing? And he didn't tell me nothing about them working him into a match so he can get his revenge, so he get his payback. Because he know I would have told him take his ass home. So Roger know, and then so at first, I had to get an attorney and all that, and attorney told me not to say nothing, not to say nothing. Then I'm seeing everything unfold online. I'm getting all these DMs, and I'm like, now it's turned racist. One man hit another man on the back of the head with a can or whatever, whether it hurt or not. People calling a prop can was a real can. They was out there drinking beer. And then the other man decided to retaliate. What it got to do with race? Why people bring race into it?
I like how he keeps leaving out the part where Stu apologized to his son. He makes sure to mention that his son was hit in the head and that he said he could get in the ring, but never mentioned that Stu apologized 3 times, making this, Raja was just getting his payback argument invalid. That body slam was payback in itself. If he had stopped right there, I can guarantee you we wouldn't be here. But every one of those punches your son threw was like a signal being sent out to every racist everywhere.
It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. So I give a little statement, and I get back to what I was doing, streaming and stuff like that. So I'm waiting for Psycho Stu to get out of the hospital so he can tell his side of the story, because this is what Roger told me when I finally talked to him. Psycho Stu was drunk and he hit me upside the head with a can, and I didn't know nothing about it, and he embarrassed me on my stream and everything. And he said I was scared to fight because I didn't know if this other wrestlers was going to jump me. And I know I wasn't supposed to be fighting because I got this concussion. So I didn't know. And I was really upset. And they told me I can get my get back in the ring. And I think the world got mad, whoever, people got mad because they don't understand pro wrestling. They didn't know that they wrote Roger into the show. They thought that he was a coward and he snuck in the ring and beat the guy up while he was working.
No, yeah, we don't know how pro wrestling works. We don't know how one of the most popular entertainment events in the world works. We're all just dummies who think The Undertaker rising from the dead was a real thing that happened. We all thought Edge stealing Matt Hardy's girl was the realest thing TV had to offer. That was real, by the way. Does he not know that we also found out that his son was told he can get his payback in the ring the same day the video was released? Like, for the first couple of hours, people might have thought that, but when what really happened came out, people were still just as mad, maybe even angrier, knowing that wrestling is staged. Like, his thinking is actually ass backwards. We're not mad because we thought he beat up someone while they were working without any warning. We're mad because we know he beat up someone while they were working without any warning. Now, this next part, Ariel asks Rampage where his son has been since he hasn't made any kind of statement since the day of this attempted murder, and this is what Rampage has to say.
We haven't heard or seen Raja since the incident. How is he doing?
I don't know. I don't talk to Roger no more. So I don't know.
Since then?
I talked to him, I heard the story, and I heard some of the stuff, and then after that, I learned a whole lot of stuff and about it and everything. Roger's wrong. He went against what I told him to do, and he hid the fact that he got wrote into a pro wrestling story. Roger's not a pro wrestler. He's a fighter. He's not a pro wrestler. He had no business in that ring. Everybody there was wrong. And yes, my son took it too far, but he knows better. He knows he's wrong for getting involved in a pro wrestling match.
And for almost murdering someone, you fucking dummy. He is more mad at his son for being a part of the wrestling match itself than he is for beating up Psycho Stu. He literally says, what my son did was wrong, but he should have never been in the ring. He's an MMA fighter. The hairs on the back of racist people's necks everywhere are starting to stand up the more and more this guy talks. Like, he actually says that clip of Psycho Stu apologizing was misinformation.
I saw the video. He went and talked to Psycho Stu. They told him what to do, and he was like, okay, I understand it now. I understand it. And people saw the video, and they took it as, oh, he apologized. So why did he sneak in the ring? That's the misinformation.
People like him need to have their phones taken away from them like a child, or else he'll keep going, and he does.
Roger is actually one of the sweetest people that you ever want to meet. Honestly, he is.
And honestly, I can tell you that he could have had testicles made of strawberries, and I'm still not getting anywhere near your son after I saw what he did to Psycho Stu.
Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with Psycho Stu because he didn't come out and say, "Oh, whoa, whoa, yeah, what Roger did was fucked up," but he didn't sneak in the ring and do this. The shit was staged. That's all he had to say to get some of these racist ass motherfuckers out of my DMs.
And when you say, like, he hasn't said anything yet, you mean like a statement or something like that, right?
He should. He's saying all this shit how it fucking blew up and stuff like that. He should at least said something.
Okay.
Take some accountability. Like, honestly, everybody was wrong. Roger was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this shit ever would have happened if Psycho Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a fucking can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the fucking neck, asked him to fucking sell it. If that shit never happened, none of this shit never happened.
Now, how in the fuck was Psycho Stu going to say anything if he was barely able to leave the hospital with missing teeth and other facial injuries just a couple days ago? Your dumbass son is the one who should be saying something. Like, none of this would have happened had your son not been one of the dumbest people to ever exist. And regardless if this was staged or not, if Psycho Stu didn't see your son until he was already being lifted up in the air, that is what you would call sneaking up on someone. Like, he even waits for Stu to turn around so we can get a better grip of him for when he body slams him. That's sneaking 101. He snuck up from behind him so that he could grab him without any problem. He's even waiting for Stu to be in the middle of throwing someone against the ropes to jump in, so he's even less aware about what's going on around him. Stu doesn't need to say anything, even if he was drunk. He wasn't too drunk to know to apologize 3 times, but asking Stu to take some accountability when your attempted murderer of a son hasn't said anything is insane. He also keeps throwing in that Stu hit Raja when his back was turned when they were obviously face to face, but it's a small thing that he'll try and slide in to make it seem like what happened was any less worse than what it is. It doesn't, but he tries.
If I was there and somebody came up behind me and hit me over the head with a can, I would just kick his ass right there, and I wouldn't care about the other pro wrestlers jumping me.
At least we know where Raja gets his anger from, if that wasn't obvious already. But one of the more ridiculous things he says is that Raja doesn't deserve to go to prison, but that he should go to jail for a couple of days so that he can essentially be scared straight like in the TV show.
Are you expecting him to be arrested?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm accepting like whatever justice he get, but if they try to give him like years in prison, then I'm gonna have to fight, because I don't think he deserves years in prison. But jail, yeah, let Roger go to jail for a couple of days, so he'll see what it's like. So you be like, man, I don't want to come back here no more.
Yeah, I'm sure after showing everyone that your son has no problem in ending someone's life, that he should only go to jail for a couple of days to see what it's like, and then he's good to go. I would have ended the interview there. I would have ended the interview after I introduced him. Now, this interview was like an hour long, and I watched the entire thing, and Rampage is just not smart enough to answer these questions without making himself and his son look bad. Like, you can tell he's trying to defuse the situation as best as he can, which is horrible at best. But like, he'll say things like how he said Stu should have said something, and it's like, not only are you wrong, but you're also an asshole for even thinking like that. Like, here's the last clip I'm going to show you, but listen to how he explains why Raja was so angry after he almost killed Stu. So basically, an explanation for this.
Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro.
When he was walking afterwards saying, I'm not going to be disrespected, I'm no one's bitch, I'm no one's bitch, I was wondering if that was him just speaking about the moment, or, and you would know better than me, like him blowing up after years of feeling like he was being disrespected by people. What was that? What was he?
No, Roger told me that they told him not that he has to sell it because he's live streaming. So his whole thing was to get the get back, fuck up Psycho Stu, and then leave and sell it. Don't make it look like pro wrestling is weak.
Yeah, so all this anger he was letting out after the show was all staged. The guy calling him after to let him know that Stu was still unconscious was all staged. He was selling it, even though he told us minutes before that his son doesn't know what the fuck selling is.
Roger don't know what selling it is. He don't know what that shit means. He's not a pro wrestler.
But yeah, guys, like I said, the rest of the interview is just him saying nonsense when he shouldn't even be talking on his son's behalf in the first place. Until tomorrow, though. Peace.